Public transport. Side, scientific, scientific. तुम देख रहे हो क्या? बोलो, मैं बोला तुम देख रहे हो क्या, चले गया। energy. The flow of nutrition through an ecosystem is cyclic. Producers obtain nutrients from the soils. Producer obtain nutrients from the soil and CO2 from the atmosphere to make food by photosynthesis. During the process of an inorganic substance are converted into organic substance. Consumers consume the food produced by producer. Both producer and consumer undergo decomposition after death, and the nutrients are released back into the soil. The energy in the form of the food is passed on from one trophic level to another. The flow of nutrients through producer obtain nutrients. Producer obtain nutrients from the soil and CO2 from the atmosphere to make food by photosynthesis. During the process, the inorganic substances are converted into organic substance. Producers obtain nutrients from the soil and CO2 from the atmosphere to make food by photosynthesis. Point number 2. During the process, inorganic substance is converted into organic substance. Inorganic substance. Consumer consume the food produced by producers. Consumer consume the food produced by producer. Both producer and consumers undergo decomposition after death, and the nutrient and released back into the soil. The energy in the form of food is passed from one trophic level to other. Thus, flow of producer obtained nutrients from the soil, CO2 from the atmosphere to make food by photosynthesis. Point number 2. During the process, inorganic substance convert into organic substance. Point number 3. Consumer consume the food produced by producer. Producer obtained food Producer obtain nutrients from the soil, CO2 from the atmosphere to make food by photosynthesis. फिर आएगा during the process inorganic substance convert into organic substance. Point number 3, consumer consumes the food by consumer produced by producer. Both producer and consumers died. Both producer and both producer and consumers undergo decomposition after death, and the nutrients is released back into the soil. Both producer and consumer undergo decomposition after death, and the nutrients are released back into the soil. Both producer and consumer undergo decomposition after the death. After the death, nutrition and the nutrition released back to the soil. Producer obtained nutrient from the soil, and CO2 from the CO2 from the CO2 from the CO2 from the atmosphere to make food by photosynthesis. The process. The process. The process. The process. The process. The process. The inorganic substance convert into organic substance. Consumer consumes the food and decompose and produce by producer. Both consumer and producer undergo decomposition after death, and the nutrient release back to the soil. The energy in the form of food. The energy in the form of food passed from tropic level to another, first tropic level to another. Thus, the energy in the form of food passed. The energy in the form of food passed from first trophic level to the another. Hence question. The producer obtain nutrients from the soil and CO2 from the atmosphere to make food by photosynthesis. During the process, the inorganic substance convert into organic substance. Consumer consume the food by the consumer consume the food. The producer produce produced by producer. Both consumer and producer undergo decomposition after death. After death, and the nutrient released back to the soil. The energy present in the form of food is passed to first trophic level to the another. Hence question. Sun is an important source of energy in an ecosystem. Green plant of ecosystem stores some solar energy in the form of food. Before reaching the decomposition, this transfer this pass to the another trophic level. Decomposition release some energy in the form of heat. However, No part of energy is returned to the sun. The sun is the most the sun is the most important source of energy in an ecosystem. The sun is the most important source of energy in an ecosystem. The green plant in ecosystem stores some solar energy in the form of food. Before the reaching of decomposition, before the reaching of decomposition, before reaching the decomposition, this 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 energy transfer from one trophic level to the another. The energy present decompositor release amount of energy in the form of heat. The energy present in the body released in the form of heat. However, no part of energy is no part of energy is returned to the sun. Hence question. एक दो तीन चार
लाइक किया कि नहीं?
कोई नहीं, मेरे पास सारे लाइक कर दो, लाइक प्लीज लाइक कर दो, एक लाइक कर दो प्लीज।
ज़्यादा तो कम करो थोड़ा सा।
पूरा उजाला है, बंद कर दो, बंद करो, आके देख लो कितना उजाला है।
एकदम करने बैठते हैं।
resume. Monopod has fiber-like roots. Monopod has Monopod has fibrous roots. Dipod has packed roots. Stems are branched, unbranched. Stems are branched. Leaves shows vertical. Leaves show parallel variation. Leaves show parallel variation. Varietal, reticular, reticular. लाइक कर दो प्लीज, आपका एक लाइक मेरे मोनोकोट साइड अपना मोनोकोट साइड फाइबरस रूट्स, डाइकोट है टैप रूट्स, stems are branched, stems are unbranched, stems are unbranched, stems are branched. The leaves show parallel variation, the leaves show parallel verticular variations. Flowers are with 3 or 4 parts, or their multiple. The flowers are 3 or 4 parts or their multiples. Wheat, mustard, sunflower, banana. Canaro and Cilia onward about the ornamental plants are found. Plants are ornamental plants seen in garden. They are ornamental as they beautify the place where they grow. Since they are grow in garden, they do not bear different types of attractive leaves. They reproduce by spore, which develops on the lower side of the leaves in the form of soybean. Sketch and label describe the Sparrowera. Sparrowera is a green filamentous Villagia belonging to the division Thallophyta. It grows in fresh water. Due to the presence of chlorophyll, its synthesis is food by the process of photosynthesis. In each chloroplast there are a number of rounded bodies surrounded by starch. These rounded bodies are called pyrennoids. लाइक कर दो प्लीज़, एक लाइक कर दो अपना, एक लाइक मेरे बहुत काम आएगा, एक लाइक कर दो प्लीज़ लाइक कर दो एक प्लीज़. Spirogyra is a green filamentous liquid belonging to the division. Characteristics of the plant belonging to the division Barakat. This type, this group of plant is called amphibian of the plant kingdom because they grow in moist soil but they need water for reproduction. Plants are thalloid, multicellular and autotrophic. Plant's body of bryotes is flat, ribbon-like, long, without true stems, leaves, and instead they have stem-like or leaf-like part and root rhizoid. They do not have specific tissues for conducting of food and water. Example: moss, ferns, marchantia, angia, riccia, etc.
Ah. Stress.
This group, this plant is called this plant is called amphibian of the plant kingdom because it grow in at moist soil but need water for reproduction. Plants are thalloid, multicellular and autotrophic. The plants are thalloid, multicellular and autotrophic. Plant body of bryophyta is flat, ribbon-like, long, without true stem, leaf or root. Instead they have stem-like, leaf-like part and root rhizoid. They do not have specific tissues for conduction of food and water. Example: moss, Fullera, marchantia, etc. लाइक कर दो प्लीज़, आप एक लाइक कर दो मेरे लिए प्लीज़, आप एक लाइक करके जाना। भाइयों भाई या बहन आप कौन भी हो, मुझे एक लाइक कर दो प्लीज़ प्लीज़, एक लाइक सब्सक्राइब कर दो प्लीज़ प्लीज़, एक लाइक कर दीजिए। This plant of kingdom is known as amphibian of the plant kingdom because it grows on moist soil and it needs water for reproduction. The plants are thalloid, multicellular and autotrophic. The body structure. The body of Spirogyra is plant body of Bryophyta. Plant body of Bryophyta is flat, ribbon-like, not with stems, roots and leaves. Instead they have stems-like and leaf-like parts and roots rhizoid. They do not have specific tissues for conduction of food and water. Example: moss, algae, marchantia, etc. Some division of phanerogames. Plants that bear the seed is known as phanerogames. The plant that bears the seeds is known as phanerogam. This plant of seed is formed. In this plant seeds are formed after reproduction. The seeds contains embryo go and stored food. The stored food is used during the germination of the growth of plants, growth of embryos. Phanerogams are divided into two groups, angiosperm and gymnosperms, depending upon whether the seeds are enclosed in the food or not. Phanerogams. The plants that bears the seed is known as phanerogams. In this plant, seeds are produced after reproduction. Point number 3. The seeds contains embryo and stored food. These seeds contains embryo and stored food. Embryo and stored food. This embryo and stored food is used in the germination of embryo. This phanerogram is divided into two groups, angiosperm and gymnosperm, which is depend upon the seeds is in cover or not. Get the characteristic of subdivision phanerogams. Spirogera. The plant that bears the seed is known as phanerogams. In this plant, seeds are produced after reproduction. The seeds contains embryo and stored food. The embryo and stored food is used in the germination of the embryo. Phanerogams is divided into two parts, in two groups, angiosperm and gymnosperms. Considered as the seed is included in the fruit or not. लाइक कर दे गाइस, लाइक कर दो प्लीज, एक लाइक कर दो. Join label the diagram. Join label the diagram. Answer the following question. Join label the diagram. So these plants needs TNS. Algae, moss, fruit cycles, Cantia. Dash plants have soft and fibrous or this is called amphibian on the graph. In predator, Igmaga spore or Igmaga zapper, male and female, and gymnosperm. The plant that bears the seed is known as phanerogams. The phanerogams. Point number 2. The seeds are formed after reproduction. Point number 3. The seeds contains embryo and stored food. Point number 4. The embryo and stored food is used. The embryo and stored food is used किसने यूज होता है is used is used is used is used in the germination of the embryo. This plant, the phanerogams, is divided into two groups: angiosperm and gymnosperm. Considered defined as the seed is anchored in the fruit or not. Monocot, dicot. Monocot seeds. Monocot है fibrous shoot, tricot है tap tree is a branch, trees are unbranched, trees are branch. The parts of flowers are three, two or three or their multiples. The parts of flower is 3 or 4 or their multiples. Wheat, banana, sunflower, mustard. Leaves show parallel variation. Leaves show parallel reticular variation. Bryophyta is known as the amphibian of the plant kingdom because it grows on moist soil and needs water for reproduction. The plant is thalloid, multicellular and autotrophic. The Bryophyta body, the plant body of Bryophyta is flat, ribbing like flat ribbing like long no twist stems, leaf or roots. Instead, root like, stems like and leaf like part and root rhizoid. They do not have specific tissues to conduction of food and water. Example: moss, ferns, algae, marchantia. कार्बन का आएगा रेस्पिरेशन, फोटोसिंथेसिस ना। फिर आएगा ऑक्सीजन का आएगा ऑक्सीडेशन, decomposition and decomposition by decomposers. Word number 3, nitrogen fixation. Combustion, produce of ozone and produce oxidation. industrial innovation fixation, physical fixation. The advanced of class second, cyclic, primary producer. The energy flow. The sun is the most important source of energy in an ecosystem. The green plant in ecosystem absorbs sun and solar energy in the form of food. Before reaching the decomposer, this energy transferred to the another trophic level, remaining and the food remaining. The remaining energy, the remaining energy is is decomposer release some the decomposer release some amount of energy in the form of heat. However, no part of energy is returned to the sun. Hence, producer obtain CO2 from producer obtain nutrient from the soil, CO2 from the atmosphere to form food by photosynthesis. Point number 2. During the process, inorganic substance convert into organic substance. Consumer consumes the food produced by producers. Both consumer and producers undergo decomposition. After the death, the nutrient present in the body, is back to the soil. The energy present in the body is transferred to the another trophic level. अरे
बस क्या तुम लोग उसको बंद किया तो जाली वाला हिस्सा खोलो ना.
another trophic level transfer to the another trophic level.
बीच में पकड़ने लगी.
तुम बनाती
स्टंट चलेगी स्टंट.
कोरोन नहीं है.
हाँ तो मैं चाबी ला के छोड़ दी थी. बेटा चाबी डालना है.
मर्चेंटिया का ये वाला, यूनेरा का ये वाला, फन का ये वाला, और इसका स्पैरो वगैरह का ये। मर्चेंटिया का वो वाला, फंस का ये वाला, नहीं स्पैरो नहीं, यूनेरा का वाला, फंस का ये सिंपल, और स्पैरो वगैरह का वो। अम्मी और दो ना।
कितनी देर हुई?
तो 1 घंटा होने वाला है, 2 मिनट बाकी है। जल्दी भी खाओ गाइस। जलेबी Primera is a bryophyta. Primera is called as amphibian of plant. The plant body of Primera is divided into two stems like part, leaf-like part and root-like part as well. It develops a capsule on a stem during flowable position. Spores are formed inside the capsules. The spore give rise to new plant. Fern is a bryophyta. Fern is a bryophyta. Fern is called as amphibian of plant. The plant body of Primera is divided into two stem-like part, leaf-like part, and root-like rhizoid. It develops a capsule at the stem during favorable conditions. During favorable conditions, spores are formed inside the capsule. The spore gives rise to the new plants. The fuck The plant body of Chimera is divided into two stems like leaf-like and a root-like rhizome. It develops a capsule at the top of the stem during flammable conditions. Spore are formed in the capsules, and spore help us to form a new plant.
चलो अब याद हो गया एक रसिया वक्त तेरा काम को
तो उसके लिए गलती नहीं चाह रही, पावर बहुत आ रही है। लगाना नेट वाला, कैसे आगे बढ़ रहा हूँ मैं आज तक। चल, ये लिखने से पहले सोचेगा इसका।
अम्मी
लाइट बंद कर दो, 1 घंटा 9 मिनट ही हो गए। लाइट सब्सक्राइब का कुछ हुआ ही नहीं होगा।